Hi guys, Miss Main here with today's story, Fireboat. It is the heroic adventures of the John J. Harvey. That's the name of this boat here, John J. Harvey. It is a 3.1 reading level, and if you would like to take the AR quiz, the quiz number is 63491. Fireboat. So, it's New York City that we're talking about. It is in 1931. Amazing things were happening, big and small, in New York in 1931. In 1931, the Empire State Building went up, up, up. Have you guys heard of the Empire State Building in New York? Also in 1931, Babe Ruth hits 611th home run in Yankee Stadium. The tasty candy treat Snickers hit the stores. 1931, good year. The George Washington Bridge was suspended elegantly across the mighty Hudson River. Champion Pentley Colleen of Blarney won Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club. So that dog got Best in Show. Also, in 1931, on a hot and jazzy night, the word "hacha" was invented. Dancing, hacha, hacha. And on a sunny, fresh day, the John J. Harvey Fireboat was launched. There were 12 fireboats in New York City. The Harvey was the largest, fastest, and shiniest fireboat of them all. Biggest, shiniest, fastest. It had 5 diesel engines so that it could go 20 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. 8 pipers that could shoot 16,000 gallons of water per minute. That is equal to 20 fire trucks. It also had a completely round steering wheel, many brass nozzles housed in gold rooms. It also had ropes that were called the lines. It had a very nice can to oil all its squeaky parts. It had a control dial in the pilot's cabin. It had lots of levers and buttons and buckets. There was a pilot and a crew ready in 2 minutes to fight fires. They were a brave group. And there was a dog named Smokey, who did not put out the fires, but had many nice spots. So it was a very nice ship with all those gadgets and gazmos, even some firemen aboard and a fire dog. The Harvey went up and down the river fighting fires. It fought fires at bustling piers. The piers were the places where ships and trains brought all manners of merchandise to be sold in the city, like wood and cotton and bananas and bubble gum and everything. It fought the fire on the great ocean liner, the Normandy. So look how giant this great big ship is. And this is fighting a fire. This little boat is also doing the same thing. Sometimes the Harvey just went out to shoot water in celebration. Wasn't really putting out any fires. It was just shooting fire to have a celebration. Many years passed, and a new captain had come on board, Bob Linney. He and his crew fought many fires, but New York was changing. The Twin Towers were now called the tallest buildings in New York City. The piers were also closing. So now it's 1995. The city no longer needed so many fireboats. The Harvey was considered old and useless. It sat in the water for 5 years, waiting to be sold for scraps. Poor Harvey, once such a good fireboat, now just waiting to be sold for scraps. And then a very surprising thing happened. A group of friends were eating at a restaurant called the Florent. They had heard about the fireboat and decided something. Let's save Harvey. Let's buy her. Everyone needs a fireboat. We won't put out fires. We'll just have fun. And they did. A group of friends just decided to buy her. They took it to the Caldwell Ship Repair Yard in Staten Island. Even there, they said, "She is old. It will be hard to fix her." But the owners said, "Fix." So they fixed beautifully. They repaired the 2 propellers, making them new and shiny coats of brass. Brass does not rust. They repaired the holes with steel plates and covered the places where the rivets wept. They scraped barnacles and seaweed off of the hull, and painted her with a shiny coat of paint. So they got all the yucky stuff off, shined her up, gave her a nice paint job. And once again, the Harvey was on the water. Tim, the engineer, keeping things running smoothly. Jessica, the assistant engineer in the controls in the noisy engineer room. Andrew welding, Chase helping, John fixing, Tom cooking. Huntley at the wheel, and Bob Linney watching over everyone and being very proud. Proud of his new beautiful boat. Everybody working together. They made friends with the other fireboats on the river, the firefighters and the McKean. Everyone said the Harvey is the nice old boat, but she could never be used to fight a fire. Never! So they're like, oh, she just kind of toots. But then, on September 11th, 2001, something so huge and horrible happened that the whole world shook. It was 8:45 in the morning, another beautiful and sunny day. Two airplanes crashed into the Twin Towers. Crashed into these 2 strong buildings. The sky filled with fire and smoke. The buildings exploded and fell down to the ground. Many people were hurt. many lives were lost. The news spread. The city had been attacked. Everyone was terrified, but people were brave. The entire city sprang into action. Firefighters and police officers and doctors and construction workers and teachers and children and parents. The mayor was strong. He said, "We will all work together and we will not be broken." What were the people of the Harvey doing when the planes hit? Well, Bob Lancey, the one who bought it, was trimming his hedges. Tom was drinking tea in his kitchen. Chase was walking his dog Radar. Tim was reading the paper. Andrew was welding. John was working. Jessica was writing a story. Huntley was reading David Copperfield. The Harvey was snoozing at the pier. They all had one thought: get to the Harvey. And they did. They called the fire department. "John J. Harvey, ready to help. How can we help?" The answer came, "Yes, you can help fight the fire, but you can't help fight the fire, but you can ferry people to safety." So they're saying you can't help fight the fire, you're too old. But suddenly an urgent message came loud and clear. "John J. Harvey, where are you? We need you! We need you!" The water pipes were broken and buried, and the fire trucks that had raced to the scene could not pump water. The firefighters attached hoses to the Harvey. The Harvey fought the fires alongside the McKean and the firefighter. So all three boats, boat 1, boat 2, and boat 3, 3 boats. Boat 1 is the Harvey, the other boat is called the McKean, and the other boat is called the firefighter. 4 days. For 4 days and nights, the Harvey pumped water. The crew took turns sleeping. People brought supplies, fuel, sweaters, gloves, pizza, sandwiches, and coffee. They worked and cried. They fought the fire until it was under control. Look at all those fire hoses that they have. Trying to put out the fire. Finally, it was time for the Harvey to go home. Everyone on the boat had never seen anything so terrible, and they had never felt so proud. The Harvey was a hero, and everyone knew it. The Harvey won an important award. It was called the National Preservation Award, John J. Harvey, for carrying a distinguished career of service by coming out of retirement to provide invaluable aid to New York City's hour of need. At the ceremony, the audience cheered and some even cried. Now the Twin Towers are gone. Something new will be built. The heroes who died will be remembered forever. The Harvey is back to being a very happy boat. Not scraped, not useless, not forgotten. a proud and plunky friend, and all that is left to say is ha-cha and thank you. Wait a minute, there is something more to say. The friends of the Harvey have found a little tugboat to adopt. Does anybody need a tugboat? That's it. The end. Fireboat. There was a lot of good information, so please listen to it 2 or 3 times and then take a quiz and do your best. Bye, guys.